How was your
I'm good. You're just staring. I'm like, waiting. All right.
Takes discipline.
Well, there you go. Oh,
There you go.
right.
There you go. Takes discipline to ask a question and sit there quietly. Um, Sales and discipline. I think by far, hands down, discipline is the biggest factor in success or lack of success for a salesperson. It goes all the way back to when I first started in sales, and I understood the job. I came in, I did the job. And one of the first things I learned early on, so I was 23, was I would come in the morning, and there was a guy named Jeff in the corner. We were all in cubes and that kind of stuff, but he sat in the corner, and he was always there when I got in, and he was always there when I was leaving. And it didn't take me long to give it the, all right, maybe there's something to that. And so after a while it became, I'm going to get in earlier, I'm going to stay later. And that discipline kicked in for me, and it wanes at times, but it is really vital. It's really hard. And I think if you stay really disciplined, though, you have a massive step up on everybody else that's selling, period. So talk about sales, discipline, and the impact.
Discipline equals freedom. That's the way I always view things. But here's the problem. Salespeople, really good ones anyway, are kind of like that teenager, that older teenager. The older teenager comes home from school, says nothing, walks up to the room, and then you don't see them the rest of the night till dinner's slid under the door to them. You don't know where they go when they leave. You don't know when they're coming back. They sleep in late. They stay up late. And nobody wants to do anything to bother them for fear that you're going to get yelled at. So salespeople are kind of like that. Really good ones have a tendency to show up late. They leave early. They go on the golf course. They have lunches with people. Nobody knows what they do. They just do it. And it is one of the weirdest positions within a company because nobody knows how to really help or hold them accountable. And I'm not talking, as we discuss the rest of this, I'm not talking about these really great salespeople holding them accountable. I'm talking about that middle of the pack salesperson.
Yeah.
We need to hold them accountable. And here's the problem. The minute we start to do that, oh, you're micromanaging me. Oh, I'm an adult. I know how to sell. And then the owners and the executives back off because I don't want to upset them because they're sales and I don't want them to leave. No, they really need help. So here's the behaviors that I'm requiring from you this week. I need a report from you at the end of the week showing me the behaviors you're doing. I'm not tracking your time. I'm tracking your behaviors. And ultimately, I know if you do these behaviors, you will make these sales, which will give you X amount of money in your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of interesting when you lead a sales team. If you have one salesperson, you start adding, you 2, 5, 10, whatever you get, and maybe this is the competitive side for me for sales, but I immediately take those people and I start ranking them.
Yeah.
Who's my best salesperson? Who's struggling? Who's in the middle of the curve? Who do I have to look out for? Who needs more time and help? And some of what you're describing is how you work with each of those 10 people differently, but with the same end in mind type of work, because we are unique.
Yep. Well, and then you start comparing them to every salesperson you had before.
Ever had. Yep. Ever had.
And usually they fall short of that unicorn that you had at one point, you know.
It's funny because we've had that conversation here about some of the salespeople who were here before I was here, and we'd talk them through. And there was kind of that almost a nostalgic feel to how they were viewed. And then somebody in the corner said, "Time out. If you remember, these were some of the things that actually went on in the moment. I understand looking back you're feeling, but it wasn't the panacea you're describing." So it's just the reality of sales. Yeah, it's tough.
Yep. But let's end with, again, discipline equals freedom.
Freedom.
Yep.
There we go. All right, everybody. See you again tomorrow.
Take care.